TPG reader Jason asks a question: how do I handle jet lag with all of my international travel? If you've never had it before, jet lag can be brutal. It's not just about losing sleep. Jet lag can throw you off your entire game. Your entire rhythm is thrown out of whack. I guess the human body isn't really used to being flown through the air in a tube at 500 miles an hour into different time zones. It can be extremely weird leaving at night and then arriving at night hours and hours later. Especially when going across the Atlantic, it can be brutal. When you land, you hit the ground running, you're excited, and then in the early afternoon you get the waves of tiredness sinking through you. They're hitting you like, like an axe. You can't do anything to get away from them. So jet lag, everyone handles it differently. Generally, traveling west is better for jet lag, at least in my experience, when you travel into the sun. That's what I did on my last trip to the Maldives, and I actually I went through Asia to the Maldives and India, Dubai, and then home, and I actually didn't have jet lag at all on that trip. When I go to Europe, I always just plan in the afternoon. I take a 90-minute power nap in the late afternoon that refreshes me for dinner. I go out, and then I just get on my normal rhythm of staying up until a normal time. So in general, I try to be as comfortable as possible on planes so I can maximize sleep. In my opinion, there's really no such thing as sleeping too much, because even if you get 8 hours of sleep on a plane, it's not 8 hours that you would equate in your bed. It's still kind of, your body's not at the full rest position. So I try to avoid drinking. I do like to have a couple cocktails when I'm traveling sometimes, but really hydration is critical. There's nothing worse than having jet lag and having that inner thirsty, dehydrated feeling. So I also dress in layers on the plane so that I can adjust to the cabin temperatures. Some cabins are freezing in the middle of the night. Most of the time you get extremely hot. So if you're dehydrated, you're sweating and hot, and you're traveling through different time zones, that's a recipe for disaster. So I just try to equalize it as much as possible and listen to my body. And at the end of the day, if I want to take a nap, I will take a nap, but I set like 5 different alarms to make sure. I generally don't do blackout shades for naps. I like to have natural sunlight coming in and just take a light nap. So these are just a couple of the things that I do to moderate my jet lag, but sometimes it's just unavoidable. But don't fight it, don't freak out about it. Just figure out what your body needs and give it, but try to do it in moderation. Don't take a 6-hour nap, wake up at 9 o'clock at night and expect that you're going to be able to fall asleep at 11 or 12. So those are just a couple tips that I have for jet lag. Feel free to share yours.